If you're looking to find out a little bit more about how we look at residential versus commercial installations, then keep watching. Hi, I'm James, and in this video I'm going to be briefly touching on what we feel is the main difference between residential and our commercial installations. I'll go commercial first, as our commercial experience is not as substantial as our residential. So from a commercial aspect, we've looked after things like GP surgeries where maintenance and longevity of fittings was really key. Brightness, clarity of the light was also quite a crucial aspect. Also things like we were part of a £4 million restaurant renovation where light and longevity was critical, and the lighting control system, which happened to be a hardwired and programmed Rayco system, was also sort of a non-negotiable. So you couldn't just open up the restaurant ready for serving people, go and click on the Rayco control pad and it not work. Then there'd be quite a few panic phone calls, etc, etc. So from a commercial aspect, the lighting design obviously changes depending on what the use of the building is. So as I mentioned, the GP surgery we looked after, they need bright, clear, constant light to meet patients, examine patients, be at desks for long periods of time without eye strain, and also without sort of affecting the circadian rhythm. And there's all those sorts of factors that we need to consider. From the restaurant point of view, you've got a different aspect where you do want the food to look clear, bright and appealing. So it's all a lot of warm whites as opposed to a slightly cooler light in terms of the GP surgery. You've also got decorative pendants as part of the lighting design. So you want people to walk in and see the wow pendant and look at this light fitting and look at that and create all that interest. And the restaurant commercial aspect kind of isn't too far off from the residential side of things. So you've got those luxury pendants and you've got those interests in terms of over a kitchen island, for example. You're going to want something that's a little bit different, that draws people in, that's like, ooh, let's have a look at that. Same as maybe in a dining room or perhaps in a living room. So if you look through some of our pictures, you'll see in one of the projects we've done, clients had 6 Timothy Alton pendants down his hallway, and that was basically just an instant wow factor. So people would walk in and be like, that is something else, and the effect was unbelievable. So commercial, depending on where you are in that scale, so there's obviously very officey commercial, and that's the GP surgery, and then obviously restaurant, I would say, is on the cusp of residential, because now you're getting into a bit of downlighting, a bit of uplighting, some nice pendants. I suppose the main difference between the two is in the commercial aspect. You've also got to have things like emergency lighting. So if the power goes out, people need to be able to see where they're going safely, so level changes, that sort of thing, which we have started incorporating into our residential projects. So if you do get a power cut, what we've started incorporating is low-level lighting remains on, just so that you can still sort of walk from, let's say, living room through the hallway into the kitchen. So they're not too far apart depending on where you are in the commercial world, if that makes sense. Obviously, another main commercial aspect, which is also starting to work its way into residential, is energy saving. So things like human occupancy sensors is quite a big buzzword at the moment for commercial installations, and that's to make sure that actually there are no lights when there's nobody in the room. And we do that on a slightly different scale in residential side of things, where as you, let's say, walk into a bathroom without having to turn on the main lights and the fans, and let sort of waste a little bit of energy. We just have a small decorative, almost hidden light come on, which enables you to do your business, kind of remain sleepy if it's late at night, and just minimize any power usage. So hopefully that's answered more questions than created. If it hasn't, drop me a message, give me a call. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video.